Hi Peabody friends. Today we're going to make a marbleized nail polish flower pot. You should have a bag of items that you brought home for the task, and it should have an instruction sheet and a couple bottles of nail polish, a toothpick, and a flower pot. You should also have a glove to use. Now, I would recommend putting a piece of paper down, newspaper, or something like that. If you notice the instructions, the first thing you want to do is grab a bowl. We're going to fill it with water, and then we're going to drizzle our nail polish across the top. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The instructions do recommend glass. I have a plastic tote here. If the nail polish gets on the surface of the glass or the plastic, you'll need to use nail polish remover to get it off. I'm going to show you a nifty trick when we're all done on how to get the nail polish off of the surface of the water so that you shouldn't have any trouble with that. The first thing you're going to want to do after you get your area set up is grab nail polish and give it a little shake. Just a couple times should do it. And then open it up. Make sure you wipe your brush off so it doesn't go all over the place. We're going to set that right over there. And this one here. And then we're going to take this nail polish and we're going to pour it over the surface of the water. And I'm just going to kind of drizzle it over lightly and make a squiggly pattern. And the more you use, the more is going to go on your flower pot. This is going to adhere very readily to your flower pot. It's going to suck it up like glue once it hits the surface. You can always do a few dots too. These are very small bottles that I chose. So it did the first pot that I did and then this second one, and that's going to be about it. So I'm going to pull these dots out just a little bit. You'll notice this is going to create quite the layer on top of the water. It's going to act like its own surface that's going to want to move all at once. Be careful with your toothpick because it's going to want to grab all of your nail polish and pull it up. The instructions do talk about swirling it around. They have poured a lot of nail polish on the surface of the water in this illustration, as you'll notice. I do not have as much. What you're going to want to do is make sure you put on a glove, and when you put your flower pot in the water, you're going to want to put it over your fingers so that you don't get nail polish all over your fingers. You want it to go on the pot. And when you dip it in the water, it's going to adhere immediately to the surface of your pot. So you can dip it or you can roll it. And additionally, you can reset it as you go. Just remember that it's going to layer upon layer if you do it that way. It's not going to slide off once you have adhered it to the surface. So, I've given it my first dip. Now you'll notice I've got an edge here. I can go back through and roll it around to get that edge. I love how these colors mix together. We'll have to pull that off of there. Let me finish getting this edge here. And then you see what I got going on? So I should have worn a second glove for this. Let me just get a second glove on here. And I'm gonna pull this extra nail polish off of the pot. That's what I meant when I said it's going to act like its own layer, because it wants to all stick together as one layer on the water. So remember that when you are dipping your pot, that you can't necessarily be selective about the areas of paint. I love how this pink and turquoise mixed together. So pretty. It looks really nice against the white. All right. I'd call that a marbleized flower pot. So what we're going to do is set that baby down and let it dry off over here. And then I'm going to take my glove and swish it across the top of this water and pick up all this nail polish that's left over. I really don't have much because I had a really thin layer to begin with. And there's a little bit that has dribbled down to the bottom of the pot from my first pour. And that's something else to note. When you pour your nail polish, be sure to pour close to the water rather than from up here. The closer you are to the water, the less weight is going to be behind it, and it's not going to want to splush to the bottom. It's going to want to stay on the surface. Try to be gentle with your pouring so that it lands on the surface and wants to stay on the surface of your water. So that's it. It is that easy to make a really beautiful flower pot that you can put anything in. Now we are going to have a craft coming up where we make cactus rocks to put in a pot. If you want to save your flower pot for that craft, you will have a cactus to put in this pot. Otherwise, go ahead and put whatever you like in there. And I would love to see your creations that come out of this. So be sure to send us pictures. And be sure to let it dry properly. It is nail polish, so it's going to take a while. Set it in a safe area. And you can always gloss over it with some sealant to help protect that. So, show us what you made. We'd love to see it. Thanks a lot. Join us again.